Good afternoon, everyone. We are back again with the Skippack School. We're going to be looking at pages 23 through 31. And here we go. For a week, Eli helped Pop clear the space around the house and set things in order. They made a table and built a small shelter for the cattle and fixed a workbench and a place for Pop's tools. And whenever he had a minute, Eli worked on the fireplace bench. It was a good piece of pine, Pop said, and not to be wasted. He showed Eli how to use the plane to smooth it and to help him make the holes for the end pieces. Eli worked carefully, but he could hardly wait to get the thick board smooth enough so he could begin on the carving. It was to have a carved border as nearly like the one on a little bench Mom's brother had made for her in Germany as Eli could make it. Mom had hated to leave the bench, but they could not bring everything they wanted so far across the ocean. Eli remembered every detail of the border, and he loved to carve. He had his own knife, and one his uncle had given him, so he shouldn't forget his wood carving in Penn's Woods. But for the bench, Pop said he would have to use the small chisel. Mom was pleased about the bench too. Eli hoped that she would forget about school until he had finished it, but when Sunday came, she firmly said, "Now to school you must go." The next morning, Pop took Eli to the bend in the road and told him to follow the path. It would lead him to the schoolhouse that stood beside the log Mennonite church where several trails came together. Eli stopped to shy a stone at a scampering woodchuck. He missed it. Mr. Woodchuck scuttled under the leaves of an oak seedling, then he was gone. Eli looked and looked but couldn't find him anywhere. He picked up his lunch basket and went on his way to school. How he dreaded to go to school in this new place. It was so much more fun to chase squirrels in the woods or go fishing or work on Mom's bench. He dragged his feet through the cool leaves and grass, looked up through the tall trees and wished he could stay at home, even if it meant working in the fields, chopping wood for Mom. Yes, even if it meant minding the baby in the cradle. Anything could be better than going to this new school. Probably, he thought, the schoolmaster will be ugly and cross. Eli heard the bell ring and began to run. In just a moment, the trees thinned a bit and he came out in a little clearing. "Liliana, stop messing with the dog and please listen." There stood the school and the church just as Pop had said. The boys and girls were all going in, but instead of pushing and crowding as Eli remembered their doings in the other school, they were walking in 2 by 2, the boys waiting until last. He hurried a little faster in order not to be late. He didn't want a caning the very first day. Okay, if you are having a hard time focusing, I need you to come over there and sit on the couch, please. Well, if you're not going to be obedient, then you're not going to have as much freedom as you would like.
I was listening.
No.
Yes, I was.
That's why you were playing with the vacuum cleaner?
I wasn't. I was trying to push it back.
No, you were not. Don't lie. Okay. He came up to the door as the last 2 boys were going in. Just then the schoolmaster came to the door. Come, boys, what is keeping you?" he asked. Then he spied Eli. "So," he said, "a very new boy we have. Come in, sir." He took Eli by the hand and led him to the front of the room. It wonders me what he is going to do to me, Eli thought. His heart beat fast. He saw 2 or 3 boys who had been to the log raising, Amos and Reuben, and a little girl named Aniki. Who knows? But still, he felt strange. "Now," said the schoolmaster, "I am Master Christopher Dock, and these are all my friends." "Will you tell us your name?" Eli's throat was very dry, but he managed to say, Eli Schroeder, sir." "Eli Schroeder? Then you are the boy who lives in that new house. Boys and girls, stand up and greet Eli." They all stood up, and the boys made bows and the girls curtsied. "Now," said Master Christopher, "you may sit there on the bench beside Amos Freer. Make room for him, Amos." Eli sat down on the bench. The desk and benches were around the walls, facing outward. The boys sat on one side of the room, the girls on the other. The schoolmaster sat at a desk on the little platform at the front of the room. On the desks were inkstands, sandboxes, and quill pens. Several boys beside the Bible, and some field flowers in a vase. Eli saw that the schoolmaster had a birch rod up on the pegs at one side where it was handy, and on the other side a rifle in its rack. It was warm enough for the windows to be opened, so there was no need for a fire.